And welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Ted Flint. Joining us today, Assemblyman Michael Novikov, who serves the 45th Assembly District, which includes Kings County, Brooklyn, New York. Assemblyman Novikov, good to have you along with us.
Hello, Ted. Good to see you.
Well, let's talk about a recent event. I hate to start off with bad news, but you had a recent anti-Semitic hate crime graffiti on a local yeshiva in your district. Could you fill us in? Was this an isolated incident, or has it happened before?
It unfortunately it's happened before, and for the last several months we had a lot of anti-Semitic incidents, including a Holocaust Memorial Park. We discussed a few of those, thanks to the local police precincts. The graffiti was taken care of. The graffiti at the wall overlooking Oceanic Complex was taken care of. And the police reacted pretty quickly on those incidents. However, what happened last week, and it was an election night in New York City. So Tuesday night, about 6 swastika graffitis appeared all over Brooklyn, and it happened in the Jewish area. So one of those was at Magen David Yeshiva School for Girls, another one at the Jewish Cemetery, one more at the transportation company that serves, like a school bus company that serves, again, the Jewish community, the Jewish schools. And some more incidents, which made us think that this is how Mamdani's fans are celebrating his win. Unfortunately, because he said this is not a secret that he had so many anti-Semitic speeches, and his rhetoric is always against Israel, against the Jews. So it seemed like there was a celebration by his fans. He condemned himself. He condemned the incidents on his Twitter account, I believe. But I think the mayor-elect should be there to talk to the students, to talk to the rabbi, and to witness it himself. It was a disgusting incident of 6 swastikas graffiti in the Jewish Brooklyn area. Absolutely disgusting. That,
as you mentioned, the timing of it. I mean, there's got to be a correlation with the election of Mamdani, and you're right. He needs to take a leading role and to see this kind of stuff doesn't happen again. Were these spray painted images?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you this because you mentioned the mayor-elect. I mean, do you expect to see more of this kind of thing if he doesn't step up? Because as you mentioned, he's made some comments in the past, anti-Semitic comments, and he's refused to publicly condemn the global intifada. What do you expect to happen here in the coming months and years?
Well, I do not have any good news for the Jewish community, unfortunately, because those who celebrate his win as an anti-Semite, they would think that everything is allowed now, that the hate against Jews is allowed. So if I would be him, I would condemn it every time. I would meet more with the Jewish community, and talk to them, talk to the rabbis, talk to the community members, telling them that I won't let it happen. As a mayor-elect, as the future mayor of New York City, I won't let this happen, and I will protect the Jewish communities. We need to see how it changes, but not just in rhetoric, not just in what he's saying. It should be changed in actions. So we want to see actions from Mayor-elect Mamdani, how he will take care of the Jewish community, how he will save the Jewish community, because the election night showed the complete opposite of it.
Right. Well, as you know, New York City has the largest Jewish population in the country, And
Yes.
as mayor, it's up to him to make sure that Jewish people are safe. And also, he's mentioned reaching out to the police community, law enforcement, because he's made some comments about law enforcement as well, unflattering. And now he's the head of the police department. They have to answer to him. So he's got some work in front of him, no doubt.
And Ted, I've talked to some police officers that I know personally, and a lot of them are saying that when Mamdani is a mayor, they will leave NYPD, unfortunately. So he won't even have to defund the police. People will be just leaving. Officers will be leaving because they don't want to have such a such a chief, such a boss as Mamdani, who said so many nasty things about police officers, about NYPD. So I don't know what is going to happen. I mean, we were already lacking police presence. We already lacking enforcement. We don't have enough officers. We don't have enough patrol cars. So if officers will leave, and there's no the police academy doesn't have a flow of students as it used to be years ago. Right. So it's a huge issue. Safety, I would say this is the biggest issue with the newly elected mayor is safety and anti-Semitism.
That's probably those chief concerns of the people in your district, I would think, public safety.
Oh, yes, definitely. Of course, yes.
You participated in a governmental operations and cities committee hearing yesterday. You wanted to know why the procurement process, especially at the county and city level, is so expensive. We'll take a look at your question, and we'll come back, and we're speaking with Michael Novikov.
My constituents asking me a lot of questions like why this is so expensive, why everything that has to do with the city or with the county or with the procurement process, why is it much more expensive than in the real world? I'll give you an example. So an average school, middle school. I took a tour of the school, and the principal asked me if I can help with funding the renovation for the boys' restroom. I asked how much. $250,000 to renovate a boys' restroom. I called a few contractors that I know. They said, Michael, well, 25,000, 30,000. One guy said, for 50,000, I'm going to get you Versace tiles there. In your opinion, so it's like 10 times of the real, the realistic real world price. Why is it happening, and how we can avoid it?
And what was the response? I mean, why is it so expensive? 5 times as much, 10 times as much?
They couldn't really answer. They said, well, we're talking about the commodities today, so they didn't want to discuss this part, and the majority didn't really want to talk about it. But we all understand that. We all understand that there is a lot of bureaucracy and corruption in the city and in the states, and it's nearly impossible. That was my next question to the I think the school association. I don't remember the exact name. I asked them, like, why is it nearly impossible to become a vendor of New York City schools? And he said, well, we don't deal with New York City. I can tell you everything about the state school procurement system, but not New York City. So New York City is like it's a government inside the government inside the government. So it is impossible to become a vendor of New York City. And it seems like there's a certain mafia that serves New York City schools in terms of renovation, food delivery, and stuff. My kids bring it happens pretty often. It got a little better. I should admit, it got a little better lately with the new New York City school commissioner. But it used to be they brought rotten apples and rotten milk, spoiled milk from school. So this is what we're giving to our kids and paying so much money to feed the students. This is unacceptable. And I think that the procurement system should be should be revised. It should be audited. It should be changed. So the price for for any jobs that are done in the schools, and not just in the schools, like anywhere, it should go down. 10 times of the real world prices is absolutely unacceptable. And then we're crying, Ted, that the city has no money, the state has no money. Of course it has no money, because we're paying too much for the government procurement. It shouldn't be this way. Something is absolutely wrong here.
Well, you mentioned it minutes ago. It's a bureaucracy. That's costly. It costs a lot of money,
Yes.
bureaucracy and red tape.
And I believe it's also corruption that we have to, dig in to see what's going on there.
No doubt. If you want to get in touch with Assemblyman Michael Novikov, ask him a few questions maybe you heard on this program or anything in particular, you can dial him at his Brooklyn office at 718-743-4078. Assemblyman Michael Novikov. Always a pleasure, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Ted. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you on the next edition of Assembly Update. I'm Ted Flint.